Hello, welcome back. Today I'm talking about a project called DOM KeyBinder. This is built by Kodak 5, that is me. This library, what it helps to do is that it helps to manage key combination in the browser. For instance, you want to do Ctrl B, or you want to do space plus any other key in your keyboard. This library helps to do that with ease. So to begin, let's go to the GitHub repo. As we're in GitHub repo already, they say this is a JavaScript library for front-end development, both for vallina and frameworks that help with key binding/combinations. That's all I've said. So now to get started, we have to set up our React project. For this tutorial, I'll be using a React project, a Vite React project. As you can see, my Vite project is already set up. So just come down here and install it. For those who are using plain HTML, you can use this CDN link, but for this I'm going to copy this, come right here and paste it to install it. This might take a couple of seconds. As you can see, it has already been installed. Then what we have to do next is run our Vite server. So I'll say npm run dev. My Vite server is up and running. I'll close this. So after installing it, what we have to do next is import it. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm currently in my app.js folder. I'll paste it. After importing it, what we have to do next is create a new instance of our controller. This controller, what it does is that it's controller that control all the key combination, listen to all the key events, you can use to clear, restore your key event, and many more. So I'm going to copy this, paste it right beneath the importation, pasting it right there. So this is it. This is our controller object, and let me explain the parameters. The controller class contains a constructor, and this constructor contains settings that help you with your key controller. The first property in this object, which is the settings, is the default listener. This tells the browser what kind of event you should listen to, if it's a key up or a key down or on key press. That's the first parameter. The second parameter here is the element. This element tells the key controller what element you should listen to, if it is a div or an input or the entire window. As you can see here, I'm using the entire window. The third parameter here is case sensitive. You should tell the browser if you should differentiate between capital letter B or a small letter b. And the last parameter here is the allow default, if it should allow default events when the key is being pressed or if it should not. But for this example, I'll be clearing off the case sensitive and allow default property. I'll use only these two properties. So after doing that, what we have to do next is start listening to our keys. So I'll skip this process for now. I'll get back to that later on. So to listen to key, you have to call a method called the listen to key method. This listen to key method takes in the key you want to listen to and a callback as the last parameter. Then if you listen to key, you can eventually say alert and say you pressed. Okay, just the tree combination. pressed data dot combination. This data dot combination is one of the properties from this data value in the callback. And also to note, this callback, you can do it, it's not necessary you need the data value, it could be empty, but for this I'm going to use the data argument. So this is it. Then I'll go head over to the project, and this is this project here. If I do a refresh and you press enter, you can see you press #enter. That is it. You can add multiple listeners. I can also say key controller dot listen to key. I can say I want to listen to a space. I'll say space. Then put the callback alert. You pressed. Okay. Fix that. So I'll come back here, refresh it, and if I press space, you can see they say you press space. And for instance, if you want to do like combine different keys together, just use the plus character here, and you're going to be plus, let's say h, space plus h. I can come back here, do the refresh, let me update this, plus h, refresh, space h. Okay, refresh this. Okay, space, let's try another thing. B plus G. Come back here, refresh this. You can see the press space plus H. I can say J plus K, and here I'll use this data argument and just come right here, say data dot combination. I could refresh this, JK, you can see you press J plus K. I could also use an arrow up, so I'm just going to copy this and say arrow up. And if I refresh this, I'll say arrow up. You can see you press arrow up. Or if I want to go way bigger, I could just up here declare a variable, let counter equals to 0. I could come down here and say counter equals to counter plus 1, and just say new counter value, new okay, then you can try it again, refresh this, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. But now you notice we always, anytime I want to listen to a new key, we have to keep using this key controller, which kind of like a bit tedious. So if you come down here, you see we go back up to the place here, and you see to shorten that process, you can just create like your own sub function, which here I'm going to use this one here in the repo. You can just paste that right below your object constructor, your new object, then you don't need all of this anymore. Just going to remove that, and it's going to work fine and the same as it was before. You can see it's incrementing. So during your course of development, or while you're developing, you might not know the name of some keys on your keyboard, and to know the name of your keys on your keyboard, all you can just do, there are two ways, but one of the best way is just go to the repo, come to this home page, and press the key you want to know. For instance, it could be an alt key or this. You can see this is a combination name. If I press space, or if I press F2, any kind of thing, any kind of key you press, you see the name, up arrow, left arrow. So I could right here copy this, come back to this up arrow, or I could say up arrow, or sorry, I could just change it to arrow right for incremental. If I come back here and do this refresh, if I press the arrow right, you could see now it counts. There's also one feature I would like to discuss. For instance, you wish to combine different combination to one callback. You can simply do that just by adding it right after your combination. So I can say arrow up or arrow right. So what this does is it says either an arrow up or an arrow right, it should increment the value. So if I refresh this and I use an arrow up, it increment the value. If it's an arrow right, it also does increment the value. So if also you want to listen to any other key combination that is not being present here, for instance you're building a game, there's some special keys you want, why any other keys that is not being listened to, you want to like have a default callback for that, you can simply do that by using the 3 asterisk keyword. So just come right here and say these 3 asterisk keywords is what's going to do it for you. So I could just say any other keys that is not arrow up or arrow down, or this J plus K or enter, it's going to clear the counter. So I'm going to say counter equals to 0. I'm going to let you counter value is this. Let me also try to listen to arrow down, and I'll come here to know my key name, arrow down, or an arrow left. Okay. So if I come back to the project and refresh, if I press an arrow up, it increments, an arrow down, it decreases. While if I press any other key that is not being listed here, it's going to clear everything. So let me increment it. It's incrementing. So for instance, I can press a Z and everything is being cleared. You can see the new counter value is now 0. There are tons of other methods to use aside from this listen to key method. If you go right to this repo, you'll see one of the methods, some of the methods here. Listen to key, get combinations, that's to get all your combinations listed. Also, if you want to clear your combinations, for instance, if you press Shift plus C to clear the combination, let's try that out. Just add one more. I will say K plus C. We just do the key controller dot clear dot C. I want to alert combinations transferred. So we can go back to our project, refresh this, and value equals to 0, increment it. But as soon as I press Shift C, you see a combination cleared, and any other thing I do here is not going to work. The R up, R down, any other key, nothing's going to work. Space, nothing. This clear can also be restored by the restore method. So let's try that out. Down here, I created a button that on click you can restore all the combination back on. So I could come here, refresh this. So arrow up, arrow down, works fine. Then let me clear it. To clear, I'm going to press Shift C. So I'm going to say Shift C. Cleared. Nothing's going to work. But I could go back and click on restore. It restores it. Then now if I press arrow up, the value increment once more. So that's all for now. You can build bigger projects, use it with use state and so many other things. And I'm going to drop the link to the GitHub repo in the description below, the link to the homepage in the description below. You can try as much as you want, go wild with it. Thanks, see you next time.